Good day traders, welcome back to another technical market rundown. This week we will flip the order around by starting with our cryptocurrencies. So let's get that disclaimer rolling and I will see you back in the charts. Starting this week while looking at Ethereum, we can see that after a sharp cryptocurrency correction, we are still overall in a very strong bullish trend. We are still trading above the 50 daily moving average. The swing point for the week would be at the new weekly pivot. It would be at about 2,218. Any break above that, we'd potentially see a continuation of the bullish trend back to overhead resistance in the area of 2,650. The caution is still out, so be careful and stay with price action. Of course, should the price continue to sell off and break below the 50 moving average at about 1,940, it's possible that price could see a deeper correction towards a daily 100 SMA at 1,762. Moving on to Bitcoin, we can see that we see the same pattern as on Ethereum. The sharp correction in this case just below the 50 moving average, but still well above the daily 100 SMA. The swing point at this stage would probably be at about 59,100, that is the daily 50 SMA. A break back above that could see the continuation with initial overhead resistance from the yearly half pivot at 64,270. A break back lower below that 55,200 level could see price move into deeper correction mode or into support at about 46,100. That is where we have our yearly R2 pivot. Looking now at gold, we can see gold has formed that beautiful double bottom technical pattern and has now broken above that neckline. It's currently facing some resistance from the overhead diagonal. A break outside of that diagonal could see price move into a new territory in terms of the resistance, where we will have our daily 100 SMA and also our monthly R2 pivots, all aligning in this area from about 1,800 to about 1,810. If price breaks back below the neckline at about 1,760, it's possible that it will look for some support. The long-term diagonal is at 1,700, that is assisted by the weekly S2 pivot, which will offer support in the event of a sell-off. Moving on now to our indices and looking at the DAX. We can see that the DAX has continued to push higher with that last candle from Friday breaking above the monthly R1 pivot. The upper resistance level at this stage should be from our yearly R1 pivot, that is at 15,650. Caution does remain out as these levels are quite extreme. Another swing point would be about 15,000. That would act as interim support with a break below that, seeing price likely correct deeper towards the monthly pivot and daily 50 SMA. Looking at the US 50 market, we can see the trend is also continuing up with all candles and all time frames bullish, and we can see that we are perhaps nearing what does appear to be some kind of rising wedge, meaning there is a danger for a deeper correction to the downside. However, while the trend does remain bullish, I'd say we have a swing point at 34,450. A break above that could then see price test this area between our yearly R1 pivot at 34,700 and that monthly R2 at 35,000. A break below the weekly pivot at 33,900 could see that the correction initialized, and then price will probably find some support from the monthly pivot at about 32,300. Looking now at the NASDAQ. And NASDAQ is also currently breaking higher with the price trading at all-time highs, currently breaking above the monthly R2. That is also the swing level, meaning that as long as we stay above that 14,000 level, it's likely that we could see price move higher. Upper resistance currently at our weekly R3, 14,470. A correction would see that level at 13,600 tested from the weekly S2. A break below it will probably see price move into the support area at about 13,300. Moving on now to our Forex pairs, looking at the Australian dollar USD, we can see that the price is currently ranging in this area between 0.763 and 0.780. The swing level sitting at 0.777 with a break above that, probably seeing the upper end of resistance being tested from at a 0.784. Currently support sitting at that 0.62 level with a break below that, likely seeing a correction towards support from the monthly S1 just above that daily 200 SMA at 0.748. Looking now at the GBPUSD, we can see also still ranging and also testing that diagonal, and that is also our monthly pivot, so a very important level. If price can break above that, I suspect we'll see that first weekly pivot being tested at 1.388, a break above that, likely seeing a move higher towards resistance at 1.397. The current level of support would be from our daily 100 SMA coinciding with that weekly S1 level at 1.372. A break above that, we'll see a sell-off towards that head and shoulders target at 1.347. Looking now at EURUSD, very much the same story with price still consolidating. The swing level would be at a weekly pivot 1.195. As long as price can stay above that, I suspect we will see a move towards the daily 100 SMA as well as that horizontal level at 1.205. A break below our pivot and below that support level at 1.90 could see a correction towards support at 1.178. Finally, we will conclude this week with the USD to ZAR, and we can see that price has now broken below all major support. There is some support from the price from this level where price has found some buyers stepping in at about 14.170. So we'll have to see, but as long as price remains below this level of our weekly pivot at 1440, I'd say the trend will remain down and we should be careful to look into any longs. Support would be at the monthly S2, that is at 14, the round number. A break above that overhead diagonal at 1440 could then see a strong move upwards and towards overhead resistance at about 1490. That is where we have our weekly R2 as well as our monthly pivot and daily 100 SMAs. That concludes our technical market overview for the week. Please contact us if you have any questions or want to learn more about the markets. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and we hope to see you again next week. Until next time, this is John Jacobs for RMD Trader. Trade smart, trade successful.